Hello, welcome back to Golden Arrow. Last episode we continued with World 5, right? Yeah, Springland. We got a bunch more to go. So I suppose we shall continue working on this world. I don't know how many episodes we've done on this so far. I think 3. Or maybe 3 plus a bit. Let's see if I remember when Fish Tank was. Was this episode 9? I don't remember. But yeah, I think we're gonna spend quite a while on this. Let's just see how many levels. 14. Okay, I don't remember there being 14 here, but yeah. Alright. Alright, moving on, I guess. The maze. Oh, I'm at this level though. Okay. Let's do this. Let's see if I can start up the lo-fi. Okay. There you go. Okay, the maze. So, okay. Got 3 arrows here. I see that the arrows can't fall straight down because there's walls in the way. The arrows have to fall and be pushed left or right. Huh. Isn't that a bit interesting? Because how will I get the arrows into these positions? Oh, the entire middle section is empty. Oh, that could be useful. Yeah. I see. But the difficulty will lie in separating these 3 arrows once they get into the center area. I suppose the thing I can do is I can settle the sides first before settling the center arrow. So I just gotta get the arrows to the sides first, I think, is my goal for today. I say today because I'm expecting this one to take quite a while. I have to unpack the entire middle section too, which is just a lot of blocks. I suppose I can start by... I suppose I can already start by pushing the arrows in here. This will not allow me to do this, I think. Like, okay, so I need to at some point get rid of you, right? I mean, one way I could technically do it is by pushing upwards. I can't do it to both, I can only do it to one. Because this is valid. Ah, but the problem is that there will be another block stuck in there. So how would I clear that out? I can't do that more than once. I also realize you can't do it to both of these arrows. So to both of those gaps, because the arrow at the very end will fall to an unretrievable position. So you can only do it once, but even if you only do it once, then there are other blocks that replace it, which means that you basically get the exact same problem as if you never pushed out the block anyway. Meaning we have to manually push this block out? Or I have to empty out these 2 blocks first. Which means this is not valid? Because if this happened... No, it's not valid. Even if I clear out these 2 blocks, this block gets stuck and therefore this block gets stuck. Unless I do that and clear out this block like so. But then, you know, the exact same problem happens here. I suppose if I clear this block out, I could go to the other side and clear those arrows for this block? I don't know. I do think something like this is maybe warranted. I can get this block out of the way. What do I want to do on the other side? Like, I need to clear these, right? The idea is if I clear these, I can actually push this guy up. And then the arrow can fall through if these 2 blocks were not here. There's a lot of unpacking that I need to do. And that will require a completely empty column here though, which might be a bit of a challenge. Or I suppose one way you could start is by clearing out the middle row like so. I mean, yeah, technically this works. And then this could happen. But then you see this entire row gets stuck and I really have no idea how you know, resolve that. I mean... Yeah, I don't know how you resolve that at all. This just seems extremely stuck to me. None of these pushes look good at all. In particular, this push right now just looks really, really bad. But I don't really see what else could be done. Like, a push like this is just not good because this block is 100% stuck unless you keep pushing. Maybe I do need to keep pushing then. Maybe there's some good in having these three together. Because after I clear this, I can always come back and push from the other side, right? Well, I say that, but like, this push seems really bad. I don't know if this is like a good thing or not. I don't know if there's a need to like, maybe clear out the sides. Like clear out one hole. Oh, but now I can't enter through here, so like... But I can't put the blocks on the other side either because I need to push this way. Is that a good thing? That doesn't look good at all. Like, I can never push too far on these arrows. This push is just death. It's a losing state. Yeah, there are some ways to get a block in here. I mean, yeah, I guess that's somewhat interesting. The problem is that if I get any of the blocks out into this column right now, then that corner gets stuck. One of the corners will get stuck. Unless I can find a way to enter that column again. But we see that this column is completely empty, and it's therefore there's not empty, completely filled. And there's nowhere to get here. Which makes this push, despite how tantalizing it looks, it makes that push also a fail state. Because this arrow is now very stuck. This doesn't look possible at all. So like, isn't this already a fail state? Because I can no longer push this block over to the right, left. There's just no way. I can't even hope to enter from into this area. So if I ever want to do any of these, I would have to move this arrow out of the way. I mean, even then, it's also still a problem. So like, my next best option is to move it over by 2. I never want to do that either, do I? That move is bad? I don't think it's bad. I think it's bad. Like, the only way this would work to access this area is if then that this block wasn't there. But how would I get that block out? Without pushing it at all. I guess that's interesting. That's a move I can make. Yeah, right? And then I can do that. Maybe this is the pipeline that the arrows fall through. That's actually really good looking, at the very least. Okay. That might mean I have to do something with this block. Or maybe I have to do something else with these blocks here. Because I definitely need this block to get out of the way, but I can't simply push this way. This entire thing is just stuck. It's hard to push anything out. This is a fail state. I mean, technically for now this is fine, right? I can always push this this collection of blocks out of the way first. I don't know if this is ever good. Like, these 4 blocks together won't do much for me. Is there anything else I can do at this point? I mean, yeah, I can push this way. Oh, this block is not in the way. And there's no real way to like remove this block and right? I mean, okay, I can do this move once those arrows are out of the way. And technically that frees out a lot because this move is now available. And like those arrows are still all technically not dead yet. I suppose that now allows this move. I don't know if this move is valid. It looks a bit iffy. But it's not actually that iffy at all. Okay. I get some more hints of success here. Although I do see another potential problem. We have all the arrows free now, but one of the arrows will not be able to get to its final goal. Okay. Can I fix that? Is this move okay? I can move you out like so. Maybe that's okay, right? Yeah, I think this is okay. Yes, okay, there you go. No idea how I really would describe this move here. But by basically allowing the arrows to fall down this column, you ensure that one arrow always will end up here. Which was the problem before, right? Before that, the problem was that like I pushed this over to the right, thinking that would give me more space and therefore more maneuverability. But that didn't give enough foot room for the arrows to fall onto. So I needed to make this move, which sacrifices space for the ability to land on something. And again, this allowed me to have a column in which things can fall from. And by pushing these blocks away, I am able to go from the other side and push you into place. That was something. That got me very stuck, actually. In fact, yeah, I think that was about being stuck. Just figuring out exactly what you could do. There were a lot of, like, dead ends to this, quote-unquote maze of probabilities here. So, I don't know if the maze in this level is referring to the maze you have to create, or the maze of probabilities in this, like, tree. This probability tree, I guess? That's not really what that means in mathematical terms, but I'm going to use that metaphorically here. We are climbing the probability tree and we are going through all the possible outcomes and figuring out which one works. Okay, the Nomad. We have 2 players and portals, so yeah, I can see some real issues here. In fact, going to the portal at all is bad. But if blue goes to the portal, then it's fine. So if I simply drop blue, I could theoretically get blue into position. I need to somehow be able to get the arrows out without having to be problematic. I can't push up here, that it will fail. Do I need to desync even more? Maybe I need to desync even more? This will allow... I would say this push, but that's definitely not good. In fact, it almost looks like... It kind of almost looks like I want this move. Not that move, but like this move. Which, you know, suppose green were on top of like brown in this instant. Moving over would allow a balance to be created because green will fall into white. So I don't know if the question is probably, is that doable? I don't suppose it's doable with blue having to be carried. Although I suppose one thing that I could pull off is... No. How about this? No. How about the ability to push this way? There you go. That's blue on there. So blue is now held in place without having to do that. So by the way, the way I could have done it was I made the shape that I needed. But of course, because the portal is in the way, I basically reused the portal to reset up the shape that I need. So this is the shape that I need. This is disrupted because of the portal, but by re-entering the portal in the exact same setup, we end up where we left off. So there you go. I hope that was easy enough to understand. Ooh, interesting. I want to be able to push, rightwards? This is definitely a fail state? I mean, it looks like a fail state from here, yeah. Because how do you push the green one upwards? I was gonna say, like, it's impossible to go this way and hold up the green, but it might be possible to do it in another way. Namely, something like this. Ooh, that's spicy. What a move. Okay. Let's see if I can do something like this for now. That looks okay actually. In fact, I think that is a workable balance. All I need to do is to separate the arrows and then push these downwards together. I can now use one arrow to move the entire balance down from the middle, and I think we're done. There you go. Okay. Level 12, Z block. Z block. This looks very familiar. Wasn't this something we've seen before? Not migration. Was it in the fall? Yeah, Z block with 2 purple arrows and one 1x1 block. We have seen that before, haven't we? Well, I know it's a Z block, not an S block, but the idea still looks the same-ish? I don't know. Okay, so 1 arrow again. Actually, I might want to zoom in for this one. Did I zoom in the previous level? I don't remember if I did. Let me just check. I don't think I zoomed in. Oops. It's alright, that wouldn't have been much of a problem. Okay. So the goal, push purple up there. Okay, but both purples. How do I suppose I'll free this purple and get it up there? I think this move is valid because I can always retrieve the block. This move is not gonna get purple up though. In fact, purple definitely needs to get off this block, but cannot get off the block like so. So it must be a case where the purple makes a push towards the right. It needs to land on something. I'll say it's likely the block, but that means that this purple now has to land somewhere. Is this move okay? I mean, not really. Because now the Z block is stuck, it can't be pushed over. Although that might not be true. I guess a push up is valid. And technically that does allow this block to be retrieved. I think green block can actually be stuck here. That is one way to hold on to it without having it to be... you know, interfering with our mission. I can always put this there, but I need to harbor you as well. Hold on. I want you to be out here so I can retrieve you. Now purple can be extracted like so. And then everything is still retrievable-ish. Okay, the next step is where to put that purple. Because clearly there's some problem. Where in the world am I going to be able to put this thing? Okay, if I use green arrow actually as a second block to extend the 1x1, I can move purple around. That is actually really ideal. I can also move upwards for the exact same purposes. Although I don't really like that. I kind of really want to move you all the way up here. So I don't know if this is good or not. Like, green is basically stuck at this point. So like, how can green survive now that I have it be like there? Okay, so I know that purple can now be stuck there. Is it possible for green to now be placed back on the Z block? Because I do know the Z block will be retrievable without the purple in this corner. That looks kind of good actually. Okay, Z block is now once again stuck. I mean, not yet. With the help of the 1x1, we can unstick it. We're very close, I think. Okay, how do I get the Z block to... How do I get the, Okay, hold on. How did I get the Z block? Is it like this? It's like this, right? Yeah, it's like that. Okay, so I want to put the arrows here first. I want to be able to get green there, so I'll put it down here. The reason why it's specifically in this row is so that after retrieving you, and after moving you away, this is still retrievable, so that's good. You can make a direct push over. It has to be in this row, otherwise it can't get over to this block. Okay, there must be something holding green up. I mean, I can hold green up as well, I guess. In fact, yeah, it's like... I realize I can make this push and replace the block. So what can happen is that if green were here, I can make this push. The two arrows could potentially already be in their goals. And then I'm holding up green. I can push this way to get green into its goal. Okay. This move is fine. So what I want to do is I want to be able to get this to happen. And then I want this to happen. So again, this move will allow that to occur. I now need green arrow. I think green arrow needs to be here. Yeah, it needs to be in that row. So I need to put it there. And this should work. Nice. Alright, the vision helped out a lot there. Very cool. Okay. Slanted bowl. Is this the bowl? That's not a very nice shape for food. I guess there's like two compartments. So that you could have two types of food in there. Very innovative. They should make bowls like that. I mean, no way, they already do have those bowls. Like, they have bento boxes. Those are technically bowls with separate compartments. So, I mean, okay, fair enough, I guess. Anyway, this shape looks very primed to be in this exact spot. I don't know if that's a trick or if I am supposed to recognize that fact. It's fairly easy to get rid, the leftmost red, because this block is too white at the bottom surface. So like this move is very easy. So is this move actually, to get the blues in. The difficulty is red. Okay. I realize that if I manage to get the blues to be in these positions... Ooh, I don't like that. I want red to be like here. If red was here, I can actually push the entire thing over to the left. There won't be any real shuffling needed. But obviously red can't really enter there just yet. I don't want to leave any of the blues hanging. But this move looks bad as well. Okay, that might be a bigger problem here. Where can the red be for now? In fact, this red is kind of stuck, isn't it? Well, not necessarily. It can be moved there. But I realize I can never get onto the bowl. Or by on, I mean like falling from below. Well, I mean, it's possible. I don't want to do this, do I? I'll say it's possible to lift this up, but no, it's definitely not with those blue arrows there. Okay. Okay. So how would I settle you? I mean, I suppose if these two arrows were here and here, that would be nice. So like, ooh, I don't know if I like that move. Maybe not. Okay, hold on. Where can I store it? Can I store this red arrow anywhere? That red arrow does need to get in the second row, so it can't fall all the way down. It needs to be held up by something. I'm thinking one of the arrows would be ideal. I mean, one thing I could do is do this push. I don't want to do this though, that definitely gets that red stuck. Although I do realize you can form a balance actually by doing this. That's a balance. And that gets this arrow here. I think this is actually valid as well. I kind of want this move a little bit, but not really that move. If this arrow were already in this spot, I think it would be very close to being done. The balance is interesting. I wonder if I can like sort of manipulate this balance a little bit. I don't really think I can. A lot of this balance thing is really me just wanting to get this blue past the red without losing it. The problem is that... Oh, you know what? No. I think this is fine. Because I can... but I can't pull up. I was thinking I could pull up, but no, the arrows don't follow. Okay. Well, how about from this area? Oh, I think that's fine. It's a bit less fine now that I look at it. But like, I could try pushing this way. In fact, I think that's good, right? This move is fine. Yeah, but then this move doesn't really let this move happen. It's okay-ish. But I couldn't have started from here. Because then this arrow is trapped. I can only start from here, but this arrow causes the entire setup to be a bit too high. I mean... Is this okay? No. If I were a bit higher... I don't know, if I were a bit higher, would that have worked? Like, maybe I swap the arrow so that this is the arrow that's down here? No, because how does the arrow get to the top? Like, this is a very good setup. See, this setup looks really good, actually. If I could just push you over by one... Oh, it's a... What the heck? Okay. That's kind of awkward. Kind of like this, right? Oh, there's a balance. I don't like that there's a balance. And there will be a balance. Huh. I mean, I suppose if I could get the essence I set up down here, this balance is potentially resolved. No, it's not. Because that arrow... Because this arrow is not being pushed over. Maybe my method is wrong then. I think my method might be wrong. To get the arrows down there first. It seems like such a good idea though. But yeah, I think I'm definitely missing something. Okay, fair enough. What else can I do here then? Vision, help me out. How do I get this arrow here? Where can it fall from? I'm thinking if I had a higher setup, I could push the entire setup down. That would get the entire setup into the right spot. So like, a setup that started off like this, with the arrows in the right positions, push down. How to slide it in though? Like, the red arrows will slide in this way, right? Not necessarily. I suppose it could be held up by an arrow facing... a left-facing arrow. And then like it's held up by that, and I push the entire thing up. What's holding the left-facing arrow? Doesn't have to... It has to be the bowl, I think. So like, arrow, arrow... left arrow... and then this push. Another push would in fact get a balance. Actually, that balance would be a bit hard to fix, I think. Although a balance would be nice, I think. If I could obtain a balance with this red arrow right now. A balance that isn't here, it's like elsewhere, I think it would be very nice. Okay, let's try this first. How do I do this again? I want this, I want this, I want this. And then I think I want... Is it this? Yeah, that causes a balance. That causes this in that area. This balance is kind of hard to resolve, to be fully honest. But you can put another arrow down there. This push is really bad. This push, in fact, very rarely gives you an actual balance because you need something to fall from here or from up here. Actually, yeah, if something fell from up here, creating a balance, would that be fine? That might be fine, actually. So, blue arrow, blue arrow. I mean, red arrow from here, how does that get pushed over to the left? How will it get pushed over? It used to be held up by something. What about if the arrow hadn't fallen down to that second compartment yet? What if this arrow were here? Because this kind of move would hold it, would not hold it up. Okay, I realize that now. That was a bit weird to try and do. I suppose if I had my second arrow following this arrow, that could be useful. Okay, so let's try... okay. Let's try this move. No. Let's try this move. This should get you there. And I can do this. And then one more. So this allows red to balance on top. You can go there now. Red will not balance anymore. That's not good. But this can happen. I can shift the entire thing up. So now red is lifted up now. That's very good, actually. If red is shifted up, then we can do some real interesting things, I guess. So like, I can separate the two red arrows like so. That was a very interesting swap, but now that this arrow is up top, this arrow can be the one that is down here, if I can somehow pull that off as well. I mean, if that's the case, then so can this arrow. Both arrows can do the same thing now. They are basically identical because you can swap them around however you please. As you saw from what I did just now. Yeah, they're identical. I know that this move might eventually become useful. This still doesn't answer the question of how to get red in there though. Like, there's still no vision for that. Unless I did the balance thing again. Like, okay. See if I can envision... I don't like this a lot. I don't know how good or bad we are, but I think we're like partway there. Okay. So, okay, let's say I get rid here first. For it to enter here, I feel like a balance is required. So like, it's red here balanced with blue here, then I push the blue in. I think. Like, that's the only reasonable thing I can see. So it's like, I need this setup. Okay, so something that looks like this with a move like that, that's a balance. And as you can see here, if I can pull that off down there, this move should settle the entire thing. Right? But that requires... what? What does that require? That requires this. It already requires this setup. So like... okay, if I could get this setup to be... down by 1 is a little bit hard to pull off because the blue arrow is stuck there. Down by 1 push this way. That's also a balance. Okay, I didn't see that happening. Is this a balance? No. Is this going to help me? Because it's a balance, these things won't move. Is... nothing here will really help. Okay, is this move... No, that move is gonna break. Is... that move undoes what I did. This is not a... That's a balance? Why? I mean, that would... this would all fail. This would... This is kind of close to working. Oh, that would work. Oh, we got the balance already. Oh, that will work. But I'm very curious as to why that move led to another balance. What? Like, I suppose the reason why is because when I push over, how the game passes it is it checks that red is checked first. Red hits blue so red doesn't fall. Then blue falls, and so red doesn't fall, blue falls, and then blue and red balance. Which means, yeah. Ah, because red is the moving object, red is checked first. I think that's how the game passes it. If I were to move something else, like, if I were to move blue first, I mean, it's hard to see here, but if blue moved down first and red followed there, then I think the way it will work is that... it's a bit hard to demonstrate here. Yeah, how would that... Oh, geez, okay. No, but yeah, pushing here, as you can see, red fall or red moves first. It is checked against the blue, and then stops because it doesn't fall. Then blue is checked. The two blues fall together because they are both blue. And therefore this blue and this red, which hasn't moved, form a new balance. Huh. That order of operations is... It makes sense, but it's interesting that that's useful here. But I think we have it. That was a level. Oh, this looks like another level. What is that? What is this? Okay. That looks like a push button. You gotta push this to like dispense all those blue arrows. I suppose, interestingly enough, we can try another one of these gunslinger tricks. Where I push over, and then they fall, and then they hit each other at the same time. Oh my god, it could be another gunslinger trick here, because I could be holding a blue arrow. Anyway, okay, there you go. I'm not gonna do this episode, sorry, I'm not gonna do this level this episode. I think we are done for now. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this episode. Next episode we'll continue with this one, and then we'll see how much more we can do. So until then, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Bye bye.